Race 3 of the AST Voltson Super Trucks 2014 season takes place at the half-mile Toledo Speedway in Ohio, the first of 2 consecutive races in the state. On the pole is Ohio native Hunter Blaze in the Gravity Racing Incorporated truck. GRI is fielding some of their trucks from last year's Arlo Tornado Valley Truck Series campaign in the series this season for Blaze, the defending Columbus Motor Speedway late model track champion. Brianna Princehorn and Zach Churchill are running 3rd and 4th. The Churchill Incorporated cars have lots of experience and lots of success at this track, although Princehorn is losing that 4th position to Chris Washer. We saw one car get a little bit out of line there at the back. That is Riley Durbin in the 3, driving for Ike Durbin Incorporated. Riley is a racer in the National Racing Championship, and his older cousin Ike is fielding him in a few races in the AST Voltson Super Trucks this season to get him a little bit more experience. This is his first race of the year. The 2 Toledo Speedway regulars in the field are dueling for position, Jack Clark in the 789 and Brianna Princehorn in the 7, who is dropping through the field like a rock in the opening laps. Clark had a terrible race last week at Flat Rock, but he's having a much better race here today. He's on his way forward. Speaking of people on their way forward, Gordon Davis, last week's winner at Flat Rock, and Caden Holt are the 2 biggest movers of the race so far. They both made up row 9 on the grid, positions 17 and 18, but just 10 laps in, they have worked their way up to 7th and 8th. Holt followed Davis on his charge to the front and now has gotten by the 32 car for the 7th position, so the 17-year-old Holt is on his way to the front. 15-year-old Hunter Blaze is at the front and has been since the start of the race, and the other under-18 driver, Chris Washer, is running in 3rd. Washer was the fastest truck in practice this weekend and qualified in 7th, I believe, and running very well in the opening laps here. Daryl Quick, however, is all over the back of the 71 of Blaze. He's not let him pull away at all since the start, and on lap 15, Quick comes to the inside trying to make the move. He's got the edge in turn 1. The inside line is generally preferred at this track, but with a strong truck, you can put up a good fight on that outside lane. Quick into turn 3, finally going to get by the 71 truck and assume the lead of the race. Quick, of course, won the SAR Nebraska 100 and is trying to become the first driver in the series to win multiple races. Onboard Chris Washer now, as the leaders have come up to lap Ron Fergus. Fergus received a 10-point penalty last week for his reckless driving that caused both of the 2 cautions in that race, and he is going a lap down once again, less than 20 laps into the race. Brianna Princehorn, we mentioned, was falling through the field. Here she is running in 3rd to last position. Aside from Ron Fergus, the only truck behind her, is the 74 of Kane Canvin, the very underfunded KIC Racing team entry. Daryl Quick drifts high in turn 2. That opens up the door for Chris Washer in the 96. Washer goes to the inside and tries to take the lead. Oliver Quick gets a good run off of turn 4. The 2 would race side by side for several laps, but eventually Washer would have the upper hand. Riley Durbin has been running behind Kevin Thompson since the opening few laps of the race. He has not been able to make a move, and now here on lap number 37, he finally goes to the inside, getting by the 90 as Ron Fergus holds up Thompson just a little bit in turn 3. Well executed move by the 3 truck there. One of the most interesting battles on the track has been for the 8th position. Gordon Davis got by Caden Holt for that spot, and now the Toledo Speedway regular Jack Clark is trying to get by Holt, who has been holding him off for several laps. These 2 have been trading that position for most of the race. Holt has this position right now, but Clark is still lurking just in his mirrors. Zach Churchill in the 84 from 10th place. A great run for Churchill, who has finished in the top 5 in the first 2 races of the season, ended by an unknown mechanical failure. Churchill will not return to the track. Gordon Davis has been running right behind Rachel Kowalczyk for about the last half of the race, and as they come to lap Ron Fergus, he makes the move to the inside, pushes up in turn 2, and gets into the door of the 402. Fortunately, they didn't hit anything, although Ron Fergus hits the wall behind them. He did that on his own, though. Davis will now move by Kowalczyk and take over the 6th position from the 402 truck. Thompson has gotten back around Durbin in the 3, so Durbin not done dealing with the 90 truck just yet. But in the meantime, Chris Washer has taken the white flag. To the best of our knowledge, Washer has only raced in a few events in a full-size race car in his life, some qualifiers for the Smash Beer 500, as well as the first 2 races of this season. But despite the lack of experience, he has been the fastest truck all day, and Chris Washer takes the victory for Uber Motorsports. Washer, the youngest driver in the field and the only driver from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Daryl Quick finishes in 2nd place, with Hunter Blaze the pole sitter in 3rd. Kevin Thompson managed to stay ahead of Riley Durbin to take the 4th position. Gordon Davis in 6th, Rachel Kowalczyk in 7th. Caden Holt stayed ahead of Jack Clark and claimed the 8th position. And Connor Koda in 68, after finishing 2nd at Flat Rock, will round out the top 10.